We are aware that many of you are trying to achieve your financial goals, so we are here to help you with a list of habits that poor and rich people have. The things that we will talk about today will help you think of your current situation and hopefully will help you improve your circumstances. To come up with a valuable list, we consulted some of our mentors and millionaire friends about some things that rich and poor people do in their daily routine. Of course, there are always exceptions to these rules, but these things might help you reconsider your situation and maybe help you get closer to your goals. Here are 15 things that poor people do that rich people don't. Number 1. Poor people spend excessive time watching TV. How could someone waste so much time watching meaningless television? It is true that watching TV is entertaining, but it also distracts you from doing more important things. If you know a lot about celebrities, have a favorite news channel, and wait for the next episode of a TV show every week, you are probably watching too much television. Celebrity gossip and buzz offers have no value to your life. Rich people like celebrities aim to be on TV, not watching it. You might say, well, I watch TV to disconnect and forget about my problems. That's exactly the issue. You get away from your problems instead of dealing with them and getting them out of the way. So before you turn on the TV, think, how much time will be wasted if I sit around ignoring the tasks that have to be done? Number 2. Poor people eat fast food. Many poor people ignore the proverb, health is wealth. They don't give much importance to the food they eat. Poor people blast their brains with large amounts of sugar and fats with no nutrition at all. They are not aware that they are ruining their bodies. As a result, they can't perform at their best. All aspects of your life are directly affected if you are not healthy, since you will suffer physically, mentally, professionally, and even romantically. Number 3. Poor people buy clothes or products that are on sale. They stretch on that little idea that they have to buy things on sale that rich people didn't want to buy. The only thing that rich people buy on sale are stocks. They are focused on increasing their income instead of spending them on unnecessary items. So when poor people buy items on sale, they make it obvious that they are someone who can't afford to pay the full price. Number 4. Poor people wake up later than rich people do in their early years. In their youth, poor people spend a lot of time sleeping compared to the rich. Were you surprised? It is statistically proven though that someone who used their youth to improve themselves is a lot less likely to remain poor later on in life. You tend to wake up late because you wasted your time with meaningless activities instead of educating yourself. You will realize later on that you are left behind from what the world needs from you. It will make you feel miserable. People who do not focus on improving themselves in the early days end up working a lot harder with little success later in life. So, just like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and others, spend less time in bed and wake up early. Number 5. People are really into sports. This is very similar to watching TV and being updated with the lives of celebrities. Unless you're a professional athlete or an owner of one of the teams, there's really no reason for you to watch sports too much. In fact, as an individual, you have no impact on the outcome of the game, no matter how many times you coach the players while watching them on TV. This behavior actually sticks with you and you end up being a spectator in life. That's when you start criticizing others when you yourself haven't done anything better. Number 6. Poor people don't shower as often as rich people do. You may have realized that most jobs today are related to providing service where human contact is a must in order to be successful. It is difficult for a person with poor personal hygiene to gain the trust of others, and they don't even want to spend time with them. So, if people don't want to be around you, how will you attract business partners, huh? It might sound ridiculous, but if you want to be successful, then observe your personal hygiene. Number 7. Poor people blame others for their misfortunes. Do you know people who blame others for not being successful yet? It is true that there are some things that are out of our control, but most of what is happening to your life is on you. Remember that you are in charge of your life, your relationships, and your health. If you want these to change, do something about it. Life is about how we react to our circumstances. Poor people choose to feel like victims when something unfortunate happens to them, while rich people find solutions. They think about why it happened and how they can be protected from these situations in the future. Instead of assuming the position of a vulnerable victim, Use the situation as a growing point. Number 8. Poor people have no money saved. Poor people don't prepare for what might happen in the future. So, if an unfortunate situation occurs, a poor person's life will be in great trouble. If the situation is urgent, they'll have to either liquidate their assets like their car or house or take a loan. So their lifestyle has been dramatically hit. A rich person has money put aside to use and solve a problem right away and resume their life after an unforeseen event. Aside from that, saving money allows growth. If an opportunity arises, a rich person has resources to grab the chance and expand their lives. If you want to be rich, save money to take full advantage of opportunities that might come your way. Number 9. Poor people use credit cards or take out loans for useless things. You shouldn't take out a loan that doesn't generate income. You should only use credit if you are using it for an investment. A large TV, a new Supreme gear, and a new iPhone are not necessities and won't generate income, so don't use credit in them. Unless you're flipping the Supreme gear for profit or you're using your iPhone to develop a new app to grow your business. If you want to have these items, earn money, then spend it on them. Number 10. Poor people tend to have more kids and earlier in life. It is true that a child is a source of joy for the family, but are you aware that raising a child in one of the more developed countries will cost you approximately $250,000? Because of lack of knowledge, poor people have on average more children and at a younger age compared to the rich. They just go ahead in having kids and struggling begins. It's even hard for them to survive. The rich wait a couple of years until their standards of living improve in order to assure the right environment and prime conditions for their child to flourish. Before thinking of having a kid, evaluate your situation first. Are you emotionally and financially capable? If not, please wait a little longer. Number 11. Poor people do not do regular checks with their doctors. We've talked about the importance of health earlier. Poor people think that regular medical checkups are just unnecessary additional expenses. Imagine having a difficult disease like cancer. If you do checkups, you'll discover your illness in early stages, making the treatment possible at a lower cost. However, if you neglect to do your checkups, you might discover your illness only when it's too late. It might cost you and your entire family not only a fortune, but also your life. Number 12. Poor people spend money before they get it. Don't count your chickens until they are hatched. It also applies to spending. Poor people start acquiring expenses before having money to pay for them. If you do so, this will start to pull you down. If you want to buy something, work for it. If you have the money to buy it, then get it. Number 13. Poor people surround themselves with other poor people. Poor people stay poor by associating themselves or hanging out with other people that reinforce their poor beliefs. Surround yourself with people who will inspire you and push you further. People who are doing amazing things themselves. Their success will only motivate you to exceed your current reality. Have courage to step away from a crowd and move on to something better. If you don't, your chances will probably be crushed by people who don't want to improve their lives. Number 14. Poor people never follow through on their ideas or potential. There are things you can control, but what you can control is the amount of time you put into your dream. Spend your time wisely by dedicating yourself to learning and implementing more about what you're passionate about. It's only a matter of time until you reach success. People are afraid to start a business thinking they might fail. Well, they already failed for not even trying. So, if you have an idea, work on it, put it out, get feedback, improve it, and launch it. Number 15. Poor people believe that others should help them reach the top. You can't always expect help from anybody. You are responsible for what happens in your life. When we were young, we were taught that we are going to be successful, but then reality happens. We live in a world that rewards only those who never quit, those who keep learning, keep adapting, and understand that nobody will solve their problems for them. Face every situation with courage. Along the way, you might meet people who are willing to share parts of the journey with you. Hope this video gave you some realizations. Feel free to share it to those whom you think might need it as well.